Dan Galinsky is joining me. We've linked up from kingjamesgospel.com. Go ahead and check that out for all the Cavs news you need heading into the draft. Dan, thanks for jumping on, and we got some stuff to talk about with the Cavs.
Yeah, for sure. And as always, thanks for having me, man. I appreciate it.
I don't know where I want to start with them. Let's go with Sexton because he's made the most news as they kind of faded off into the abyss here at the end of the season. Heck of a year. He did not hit any of the bold predictions I made for him. I know the big two I made were All-Star game and 25 a game. I don't think he quite got to 25.
It was close. I mean, I give you all the credit for that.
Yeah, I think you got to appreciate 16 to 20 to 24 solid, all right? And we'll get into the whole Sexton thing here in a second. He had a bit of a little spat, not his fault, and he wasn't even involved, but the media, the fans, and Sexton, this revolving little beef going on that he didn't seem to acknowledge, really. They didn't talk much about it. In your opinion, what happened at the end of the year? I mean, nothing was big with the Cavs. They were losing. Sexton was keeping the same numbers, but something got triggered somewhere, and it was a real beef going on with fans, Sexton, and the media. What do you think was happening? If someone doesn't know, kind of give some insight into it.
Well, I think a good amount of it was just the injuries they had. That game against Washington, I think it was like April 25th, maybe, when they were at the Wiz. They kind of had a good game going. It seemed like through three quarters that was a key game. It kind of had been able to make a play and push, that was a significant game for them to be able to kind of launch themselves there. And I think a few games before, maybe it was a few days before, they played at Charlotte. That was a game they kind of let get out of hand at the end there. They were controlling things for kind of 3.5 quarters, and then just the wheels fell off. I think that Wizards game, it just kind of showed how without Garland on the floor for significant stretches, it's just kind of hurt their ball movement, and guys like Dean Wade really fed off of Garland's playmaking.
Right.
Jared Allen he had that concussion absence, but didn't seem nearly as effective without Garland on there. And that was kind of the beginning of the downturn, I thought, was that Wiz game, just because we also, Delhi went down, and I thought that was somewhat significant. Isaiah Hartenstein went down too. Even in a guy like Lamar Stevens, I just think a lot of this year was, unfortunately, you could say it's a lazy take, but I think that the injuries eventually just caught up to this team. And for a young team, they're not going to be able to withstand that.
So that's a great point, Dan. This is like the point in the season when the Cavs turned. You're kind of what you're talking about. For Sexton, who we're talking about here, he continues to play the same, right? In this little stint, this season he ended up averaging 24, 4, and 3. So obviously an upgrade in points, an upgrade in assists, and same amount of rebounds, it looks like. Dan, the little spat going on NBA Twitter more than it all with him, I think fans rose here and they said, this is awesome. Sexton's awesome. Look at the way he's scoring. Look at the way he's getting better. And the media kind of stepped in a little bit. I think some articles came out that were like
Jason Lloyd, yeah.
names. I think Amico was in there too, right? Amico.
Oh yeah, he's quickly become the quote unquote villain of Cavs Twitter, it seems like.
Right. Funny, and I'll get to the chart that you quoted on Twitter today because I loved it. So Sexton's playing well and fans are loving it, and the media kind of steps in and is like, whoa, keep in mind, this guy, in our opinion, has underachieved. He's about to get a max contract for doing so. They're trying to tone everyone down, it felt like, right? And then it collided. Cat, you hate the Cavs. You don't like us being positive if it's not LeBron. The media's firing back. I saw the media starting articles and quote tweeting their articles with, please, a PSA. I love the Cavaliers. I have appreciation for the organization. I love the city. Because
Yeah.
fans were just like, why are you bashing this guy? He's playing so well. You're getting after him. What's the issue here? And, Sexton's doing his thing. He's gotten a little bit better. I was kind of one of the guys that was like, yeah, maybe he's not the franchise guy. And people
Yeah,
didn't
you were definitely very, I thought, what you said was very measured. I thought that was fine, too.
Well, I got bashed. Or I got taken down.
But that's the problem, though. It's just like there's just it's just everybody just seems to be in absolutes with Sexton. They either seem like most people, it's a lot of fans either love him or hate him, and then the media, it's just they're, I guess, not factoring in that he was an 8th pick. I guess that's just kind of where it was, and I guess people just think it almost seems like Lloyd has this expectation that he has to be like a Luka or a Trey, and quite frankly, that's just not his type of role. It's not what he is. And
I think I was there. That's where I
you're definitely in that. I'm with you on that too.
Because I was just trying to say – that's what I was trying to say on NBA Twitter. I got ripped apart for a couple of comments I made. I was basically like, hey, we don't have John Morant. We don't have Luka. We don't have Trey. So, like, I was like, cut the love fest. Like, we don't have any of those guys, so let's cut it. Like, I'm not saying trade him. I'm not saying dump him. I never said don't give him the extension. I never said any of that. I just said, can we keep in mind we don't even have Ja, who the Grizzlies fans all of a sudden have a beef with. So what do we have is kind of what I was saying. And Cavs fans, right, they're not there. I want to read quickly the little someone made it. I'll give him credit. It's
it was Tony Pesta. He's like he writes for like Hoops Habit, and he writes for like the Fansided Warriors site. Ironically,
it was a chart here. Hopefully, I'll put it up. It's got the 4 sections that you're kind of vibing with, right? Sexton has unlimited potential. Sexton is a bust. Sexton has reached his max potential. Sexton is a superstar. And they got a couple people that tweet mainly about the Cavaliers. I don't know if it's a personal shot that you're not on there, Dan. I don't know what happened. And,
it's fine.
I honestly stopped tweeting about the Cavs probably after that New Orleans game where Love came back and got hurt.
Yeah.
So Mika and Anthony Lima.
That's fine. You're not the only one.
Right. Amika and Anthony Lima, they're down at the bottom. Sexton's a bust. Right in the middle is Justin Rowan, Braden's Ballin, and Evan Damerol. Chris Fedor, he's in that middle, and your guy Tony is in that middle. Brownie the Elf is up in the corner, more towards Sexton's the superstar. The middle, I would take that as this is his max potential, but it's pretty good. That's where I'm at. I think that's where I land if I put myself on that chart, Dan. Reach potential, this is what he's going to be in his career, a 24-point-a-game guy. I don't see it changing. He's not going to be a better passer, not going to be a better rebounder. His efficiency hit nicely this year. Not going to be better going forward. Is that what you think? Is that he's kind of where would you put yourself in that chart as far as like I know you don't think he's a bust, but unlimited potential, a superstar? Come on.
Well, I don't know. I think it basically Tony had like him and Justin Rowan kind of had him in we don't know exactly what his ceiling is, but definitely is not a bust. Clearly, like the guy is a bucket. I mean, he needs to improve on his handle. I think that's kind of the next step. Needs to have more in and out stuff. He can hit step backs. He doesn't seem to take them enough. It took him and Jared Allen, the chemistry got better, but it kind of came and went, had its ebbs and flows. I think that kind of is more what it was with him. And I think the nagging injury issue was kind of tough. And I just think with him, I don't know, when he doesn't have Garland on the floor, it's like things come easier when Garland's on the floor with him. I think that kind of is somewhat to do with it.
Some closing comments on Sexton before we move on. I want to save this for myself. I asked kind of in my head 2 things of him that I wanted to see this season. Averages go up. Done. He did it. He about hit 25. He clearly brought about some all-star attention. Good. And I asked him to be good in the beginning of the year. He was terrible in his first 2 years to start the season, just really bad. He was decent. And obviously he gets better as the year goes on. Everyone does. But he was good to start the year, obviously. I think I had a podcast at some point when they were like 11-10. I just went to the Nets game. You know, obviously he started really, really well. The looming question is, Dan, you get year 3, then you take year 4, and then the extension comes in after year 3, so you can have him for year 4, blah, blah. It's extension season for Sexton. Are you yay or nay on that? Is it max? Have they got to find a middle ground? You know, because that's where I'm at too with that is he's not going to get – you can't give him Ben Simmons money. You can't give him Jason Tatum money. Like, you got to find a way to be like 4 years, $25 million, you know, like in that range. But I don't know. Maybe if your just prediction is they just give it to him.
I'm a little bit back and forth. Like, to me, I think it's the whole issue is, like, if you don't give it to him, like, I'm not going to say I'm completely all in on the 100%, or I guess, like, to me, if he gets a 25% max, I think that's feasible. It's not so much like what we've seen right now. It's just that he's only 22. He's been, most of his career has been very durable. I mean, he didn't miss a game the first 2 years, and the whole, like, people that don't understand like how important it is to be durable. Like, a guy, the guy's gotten noticeably stronger. Defensively, the advanced stats don't necessarily show it, but he has made strides there. As a passer, to me, if he gets you 4.5 assists a game, that's more than fine with what he brings on a nightly basis. And I just think given how much of a flop the Kevin Love extension was, it's something I very much consider. If they don't do it, they don't do it. But I just think the whole problem is if you don't extend him this offseason, there's going to be more rumors and speculation throughout all of next year. And I just think that's, given how like tumultuous things have been with this team in the past 2 years, all that he's had to deal with, all that shit, what he's been able to do, I don't discount it. And I just think I don't know if he's a number one guy per se, but the problem is, you know what you're getting, and there's a lot of problems with draft picks. I mean, it's really nice to have high picks. I think they're going to get an impact player this year, but I can't say it for certain. We don't know how. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't say that. So I just think with the limited scoring around him, I think it's something I'd be more than fine with. And to me, I'd rather, if it were to come to it, give a max to Sexton over potentially Garland.